Welcome to Let's Talk Nourishment, where we go beyond food and into the habits that truly nourish. I'm Abigail Parker, nutritional therapy practitioner, here to help you simplify wellness. I have a habit that I am working to break, and I think it's important to share because it has to do with appearance, and I think that that is a hot topic in today's society. And not just now in today's society, it's been a thing for as long as I have been alive, probably, but it's changing how we are wanting to make ourselves look. It seems like the standard for your appearance is always evolving. In modern world, we have a shot for everything, it seems like, from weight loss to no wrinkles. I'm not really understanding the whole anti-wrinkle trend, considering we know that we're going to get older and we know that wrinkles are a natural part of aging. But that's where we're at as a society, is trying to always look your best. And it seems like looking young and thin is the best way to look. Now, my habit is I have been sucking in my stomach since I was a teenager, just trying to zip it up, essentially. I feel like I had somebody tell me this and I just started doing it and it stuck with me. As a young adult and into my adult years, it became about looking as thin as I could because that is something that society deems is that you should be as thin as possible. So today I want to share more about how my eyes have opened to what I'm considering this bad habit, why the number on the scale doesn't equate to happiness when it comes to your weight, and how I actually help women shift away from this idea of chasing a number to actually feeling good in your own skin. So I mentioned that this habit started when I was a teenager, and it has carried obviously very long into my life. When I got married, it's almost 9 years ago. October 8th is our wedding anniversary. So it's quickly approaching. I was still very caught up in wanting to be as thin as possible. When I went to my last dress fitting, I can still remember looking in the mirror and saying, if I could just get rid of this lower belly pooch, it would be perfect. And I did. I was at my lowest weight whenever I got married because I thought being thin was great. I was so healthy for being thin. And the thing about it is, I had so many issues that I didn't realize until my eyes were open later that were telling me that no, you're not actually healthy. Being skinny does not equate to being healthy, but I didn't realize that at the time. I was on birth control to not get pregnant, but also because if I was not taking it, I had horrible, heavy, painful periods. And I also was constantly craving sugar. That's all I wanted to eat. And at 25 years old, I was told by my doctor I had high cholesterol, but that it was nothing to worry about. Which now looking back, how crazy is that? At 25, my doctor told me that my cholesterol was high, but it wasn't anything to be concerned about. Just wow, when your eyes are open to there is so much more to life than just your weight as an opinion of your health. And hopefully you realize that your weight does not equal health, that it doesn't mean that if you are overweight, you're automatically not healthy. But at the time, that's what I thought. And I wanted to be as thin as possible. Now, my mindset didn't start to change until I started to get into nutrition. The thing that really got me into nutrition was realizing that it does have an impact on your overall life. I had learned that the food that I was eating was going to potentially impact my chances of developing Alzheimer's disease later in life. And my grandpa passed away when I was 21 with Alzheimer's. My grandma just passed away in December with dementia. So having Alzheimer's and dementia on both sides of my family was a fear and is ultimately a concern for me. I want to do what I can to take care of myself now, and learning that I can potentially impact myself later on was what really got me into nutrition and taking care of myself now, as I said. So when I started to learn there's so much more to health than being skinny, I got really excited to get healthy for real. One of the things I did was I decided to go off of birth control and start to naturally track my cycle instead. Keeping in mind, I thought I was a very healthy person at the time, and not realizing that as I dove into healthy eating and especially eating a lot more vegetables, my body was not prepared for the fact that those are harder to digest. And so I really messed up my gut health a lot. And I started to get very bloated. And not just very bloated, but like I felt like I was 6 months pregnant all the time. My body suddenly didn't feel like my own. And that was really a wake up call for me that it wasn't about my weight. It wasn't about a number on the scale anymore, trying to see that number as low as possible. It was about wanting to actually feel good in my own skin. If you have ever tried to lose weight before, I'm sure you can understand that feeling of, I just want my clothes to fit again. I want to feel comfortable when I'm sitting down. Like my stomach rolls aren't just stacked on top of each other. While, yes, we can get really caught up in, I want the number on the scale to be something that I like, it's so not about that number. When I have clients coming to me with weight loss as their goal, they're not coming to me saying, well, yeah, I want to weigh 170 pounds instead of 190. That's what I want, is I want the number on the scale to say 170. Like, yes, that is really great if you have an idea in mind for yourself. But I always love to say, why is weight loss important to you? And there's always more behind it. It's a matter of, I want to feel confident in my skin. I want to feel like I'm in control of my body. I want to have more energy. I want to be able to enjoy my kids' lives. That idea of, I want to be able to get on the floor with my kids and not have to worry about getting back up. There's so much more than your appearance. But it's very easy in today's society to get caught up in that. So as I've shifted my idea, the big thing for me over the past couple of years has been getting rid of the bloat, because as the bloat came on, it's been something that has stuck with me. As I have eaten healthy, I've wondered why. Why can't I get rid of the bloat? Even as a nutritionist, I have worked with another nutritionist, because whenever you're trying to do something for yourself, it can be very easy to feel like you know everything, but you just sometimes need somebody else to tell you actually what to do. So I have actually seen my own nutrition coach to get help with that. And I still was struggling. And it was like, why? And more recently this year, I have really made a change and gotten away from this idea of eating healthy to eating to feel good. Instead of wanting to chase a number on the scale, wanting to feel good in my own skin. And I created a coaching program around this entire idea, because it's very easy to feel like there are foods that are healthy and there are foods that are not, and you should eat foods that are healthy and not eat foods that are not considered healthy. But that's so black and white, and we live in a gray world. So foods that you might think are healthy, like a veggie tray, are foods that my body does not like. And so I will choose not to eat. I have a client inside Confident Eating Academy right now that we were talking about healthy foods, and I was going through examples of meals that would be great options for everyone. And she had made a point of saying, I really appreciate this list of foods that you're going through because I'm seeing foods that my picky family and even I'll eat, because it's so easy to get caught up in, I need to eat these healthy foods, whatever the stigma of all of the green healthy foods, these super foods like flax seeds, but they don't always agree with you. That's where everybody is different. So everybody has different food needs. And my definition of healthy eating is based on you because nobody knows you better than you. It can be very easy for somebody to say that a food is healthy and they can eat it, but then you try and you're bloated, because I've been there. So when it comes to how you're looking and how you're feeling, the two things are going to go hand in hand. What you're fueling your body with are going to be impacting how your body looks and how you feel about yourself. And in my experience, how you feel about yourself is the most important part. Because if you're constantly just wanting to change how you look, there's always more. We've learned that, right? With all of the new things coming out, the latest thing being some sort of face contraption that you're supposed to sleep with to help lock your jaw. There's always more. But you get to decide to be happy with yourself right now and to do those things that are going to make you feel good about yourself. You get to define your goal of what healthy and happy mean to you. And hopefully that's something like feeling confident whenever you look in the mirror, loving the person that you see, having energy to actually get through your day so you don't wake up and reach for that energy drink or coffee. Or in the afternoon, you need something sweet as a pick me up. You have that energy to get through the day. And especially, I want you to be able to eat without stress, because it's so overwhelming in modern world to have all of the noise of what is healthy and what is not and wonder, what should I actually be eating? Your body has the answer for that. You can feel like you need to lose weight and you still are not happy with yourself. You still are struggling. And that's not how it has to be. Because if you are chasing a number on a scale, it will never be enough. In my experience, you're always going to want that number to be as low as possible. And instead, you get to decide, what does healthy look like for me? How am I going to feel? So paying attention to how your body feels. That is what has allowed me to feel more like myself and relaxed in my body, belly and all. That is what has allowed me to want to embrace who I am. So I encourage you now, whenever you think about losing weight, if that is a goal that you have, what are you really chasing? What are you actually wanting? Now, I know that, of course, the food that you're eating is going hand in hand whenever you are wanting to lose weight. And that is why I've created Confident Eating Academy. Multiple women inside the academy right now are there for weight loss. We are currently into things right now, and we have one woman who a week in, less than, it was 5 days in, told me that she had lost 1.5 pounds, and she was thrilled. She said it was fantastic for her because she was at her wit's end trying to figure out how to lose weight. So whenever you get away from chasing a number on a scale and paying attention to eating for your body and how it makes you feel, it really works. The Academy is going to open again for enrollment October 1st, but the waitlist is open and there are women already on it. We are going to be taking a limited number whenever enrollment does open again. So you are getting 6 weeks of coaching, support, and strategies to make it so you don't have to chase a number on a scale anymore and worry about your weight fluctuating. You get to choose how to actually eat to feel good in your own skin. That's what you're going to understand inside Confident Eating Academy. Waitlist, as I said, is open right now, and enrollment October 1st will be the final enrollment for this year. So if you are to the point where we're over halfway through the year and you're still not feeling good about yourself, it's time to change that. Make this the last year that you try another diet and that you are actually eating in a way that makes you happy. I will have the link in the show notes to join the waitlist, but that is nourishedrevival.com/waitlist. If you're interested in learning more about Confident Eating Academy itself, that is nourishedrevival.com/services. If this episode really spoke to you, I would love to see you inside the Academy. I'd love to get you on the waitlist to make sure that you get your spot.